The travel technology known as the warp drive, which utilizes the contraction and expansion of space, was developed. Humanity can now travel faster than light and is finally ready to venture deeper into the vast universe. However, this technology required an enormous amount of energy, forcing spacecraft to be built as small as possible. The first spacecraft ever built was extremely small, too small for even a human or a small animal to board. It could barely carry observation equipment and was only capable of taking a few images. Nevertheless, this small change was regarded as the first great step in humanity's journey toward the universe. Until then, we had only observed objects indirectly through light, but now we could observe them directly. Countless exoplanets, considered potential homes for humanity, gigantic stars far larger than our sun, and even the mysterious black holes could now be seen directly. And finally, the first spacecraft sent out for observation returned, allowing humanity to examine the images it had captured. The images delivered results far beyond expectations. The problem was that the results were deeply negative. The observations began with planets believed to be potentially habitable for humans, but traces of thoroughly destroyed civilizations were discovered. Not just one alien planet, but many exoplanets and star systems showed similar traces of civilization, yet all of them were shattered and ruined. Massive structures were floating around the planets, but they were merely remnants of civilizations that had already perished. Now we knew that extraterrestrial beings had existed. It seemed that our Milky Way galaxy had belonged to someone long before we appeared. They were already extinct. The evidence we found revealed a history we had never known, like ancient fossils. And eventually, we discovered it, images of another alien planet being subjected to a massive attack from a colossal alien spacecraft. After several hours of bombardment, the planet appeared to be completely devastated. If they come for us as well, would we be able to stop them? There was no answer except to pray that we would not be discovered. But ominous thoughts often become reality. The spacecraft was discovered near Jupiter, and it seemed to be heading toward Earth. Through warp drive technology, as we observed more of the universe, we came to realize something. Our Milky Way galaxy had been under the control of a vast civilization long before humanity was born. However, we also discovered that an even greater civilization had exterminated the Milky Way civilization, leaving only emptiness behind. Gigantic structures scattered across the galaxy, and countless traces of destruction, facts that could never have been discovered through indirect observation by light alone. The problem was that through this process we became aware of the conquerors and destroyers who had annihilated the Milky Way civilization. Our exploration probe witnessed a massive alien warship attacking a planet and returned images showing the planet being conquered in an instant. Would they eventually come to Earth as well? And if they invaded us, how could we possibly stop them? While endless discussions without solutions continued, the enormous alien warship was discovered in Jupiter's orbit, and it was confirmed that the trajectory of that massive vessel was heading directly toward Earth. Not in days, but in just a few hours, the enormous spacecraft appeared above Earth. The approach was so sudden that none of Earth's governments even considered a preemptive strike. As if facing an overwhelmingly powerful opponent, humanity was unable to do anything. Fortunately, they did not launch any attack. They seemed to be slowly flying and conducting reconnaissance. If they had attacked with technology of that level, Earth would have already been reduced to ruins. But nothing happened. A few days later, the massive spacecraft simply disappeared without carrying out any attack. The world was shocked by the revelation that extraterrestrials truly existed, but one question remained unsolved. Why did they leave without taking any action? There were many opinions about this, but the most convincing explanation was as follows. From their perspective, humans were simply too primitive to be worth attacking. They might annihilate civilizations that rule galaxies, but a species confined to a small planet was not worth their attention. They could have wiped us out at any moment if they wished, but they chose not to. It was the moment humanity realized just how insignificant we truly are in this vast universe.